What's the difference between a pipeline and a refinery, and how can both potentially grow Canada's economy? Well, a pipeline is a network of underground steel pipes made to transport oil directly from production sites to refineries, and refineries are the industrial complexes that process that oil and turn it into gas or diesel. But how could they help Canada's economy? As BC Premier David Eby said after the threat of Venezuelan oil came up, refineries could help with Canada's dependency on the US by developing the oil taken out of Alberta at home. Currently, Canada sends over 90% of its crude oil to America to refine into gas, then Canada buys it back for more. Premier Eby says that building the refineries at home would not only be more efficient, but would also create new jobs. Now about pipelines, Pierre Poilievre said that Venezuelan oil can now displace Canadian exports to the US, and building pipelines through BC would further our reach to new economies and markets. He says the government needs to immediately approve a pipeline to the Pacific coast. But even if these projects could convince environmentalists and opposing parties, there's still the issue of a really high cost. As David Huntley said, the Trans Mountain Pipeline estimate went from $5 billion to over $34 billion. That's a big burden to Canadian taxpayers. And refinery costs aren't much better. So short term, these projects would cost taxpayers a significant amount, but long term, they could potentially lower dependence on the US and bring in billions of dollars of revenue a year. So what do you think? Should Canada's government think short term or long term in terms of energy production? Quick clarification here, not all pipelines are funded the same way. Many energy projects use private investment or public-private partnerships where private firms take on a significant portion of the financial risk. That said, Canada's Trans Mountain expansion is different. It was purchased and expanded by the federal government, meaning taxpayers are directly exposed. So when I talk about taxpayer costs, I'm specifically referring to cases like Trans Mountain, not every pipeline project overall. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below.